Alright boys, we finally have 2 new chapters of Baki Dow 2018 to talk about. Last video I covered the end of the fight between Yujiro and Keiha. That's all over. I was personally hoping we would finally get back to the one and only Jack Hanma to see all his fights. If you don't know, a little bit ago now, Jack Hanma defeated Sukune in his glorious return, something I've been waiting for so long, ever since the Musashi arc. And if I'm being honest, Jack's return and his whole fight with Sukune was the most excited and hyped I was for the Baki manga ever since probably back in the Musashi arc with his fight against Baki, or maybe Musashi vs Hanayama. Jack peakness was here, but now we still haven't gone back to Jack. We're still following Keiha with him talking to the old man once again as expected, pretty much setting up the fated future battle between him and Sukune. If you don't remember, early in this manga series, around chapter 2 or so, we saw the ancestors, both of them, fight in their renowned battle, with the original Sukune winning that. Now we have both of them returning for their fated battle, Keiha vs Sukune. That's definitely going to happen in the future of the story. And maybe the climax of this manga series, perhaps, considering we've been following Sumo ever since the start. But when are we going to see Jack? When are we going to see Jack's crazy gauntlet fights? Especially considering Jack called out the likes of Doppo Orochi, who in the most recent chapter has approached Keiha and is most likely going to fight him. Alright boys, see this button right here? The subscribe button? You should definitely just hit that. It'll be greatly appreciated. More Baki content will be coming your way on the Mysterious Weeb channel. Cheers mate. Of course, it's probably just the vocal minority who comment all this stuff about not liking Keiha and wanting to only see Jack, etc. If you have any differing thoughts, of course, feel free to leave your comments down below as always. But regarding Doppo Orochi vs Keiha, probably going to be an interesting fight, but Doppo do be that troll. Of course, word probably broke out that Keiha had a fight with Yujiro and maybe did a little bit of outplaying when he kicked Yujiro through the roof. Of course, as soon as Doppo hears something like that, he's going to approach and begin fighting him. And I don't blame Doppo Orochi for choosing to fight Keiha rather than the likes of Jack, considering what Jack just did to Sukune. So yeah, Doppo playing it smart, is wanting to have some fun, not actually lose all of his limbs and never be able to fight again. But I'm still expecting to see Jack very shortly, maybe after Keiha has a few fights, maybe he gets beat up by a few Baki characters. But if I'm being honest, I won't be surprised if Keiha actually defeats Doppo Orochi in this fight, and maybe ends up replacing Doppo Orochi in Jack's gauntlet or something like that. I'm not too sure whether we're going to actually see a lot of fights from Keiha, but given how much shine he's getting currently, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a Ali Jr. / Sukune treatment. He has a few fights, beats some renowned characters like Sukune defeating Oliver, Ali Jr. defeating Doppo Orochi and Goki and then losing against them, but he still defeated them. Maybe Keiha, he faced Yujiro already, the big bad. Now he's going to fight some of the other characters in the Buckyverse. Doppo Orochi is going to be a pretty interesting match. Even though Doppo's fight in the sumo tournament was probably one of the closest, if not the closest fight. So maybe he will struggle, considering narrative-wise Keiha should be above all the other sumo wrestlers and be on the same tier as Sukune. So if Doppo Orochi hasn't gotten stronger since that arc, he may be in some trouble unless he nerfed himself quite a bit. But looking at his physique, he is looking a lot more bulky now and does remind me of Oliver's build. Jesus, man, he is a thick boy now. Doppo Orochi may have done some sumo training, wouldn't be surprised. Definitely going ham. But I'm personally more excited to see more moves from Keiha. Even though he pretty much ran away from Yujiro, which was pretty funny, it's cool to see him still quite confident in his own power, and definitely has much more to show in fights, and maybe the true extent of his sumo kicking style, however you want to call it. Of course, one of the chapters we got of Keiha was him eating, typical for the Baki characters, with some questionable panels of him eating some spaghetti, if I'm being honest, but man can feast like most Baki characters, just talking about the past, the lineage of the sumos and everything like that. Of course, these haven't been translated into official English, only some rough translations found on the Baki subreddit, but we can get a rough understanding of what's actually going on. My prediction on the fight between Keiha and Doppo, I personally believe Keiha is going to win if the fight isn't cut short. There is a possibility that it will be cut short. That does happen fairly often. We could have Jack disappear and be like, why are you fighting him, and start beating up both of them. That could be some insanity. Yujoro's appeared now. He won't appear for a little bit. That's how Yujiro kind of works in the series. He has like a few chapters mainly focusing on Yujiro, then he disappears, and then he'll come back in like 10 or so chapters, maybe talk a little bit, or doing some new flexing, whatever Ikigaki can come up with. Let me know down below who you think's going to win between Keiha and Doppo, but I'm just going to wait it out and hope we get to see Jack quite soon. Considering Doppo's fighting now, I don't think he'll be fighting Jack anytime soon, or he won't be the first one. My current prediction still is Jack's first fight in his gauntlet will be against Gaia, and we don't spend too much time focusing on Keiha fighting the other Baki characters, even though I do believe it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited for Keiha. Just, you can't blue balls us that hard with all that Jack hype going through the roof. For us to cut to Yujiro for one chapter, fine, expected, we get that a lot. And then introduce Keiha and now take all the shine away from Jack after giving him so much love. And speaking of love, when will Oliver return? Maybe Oliver has recovered now and he will try and get some revenge by fighting Keiha. That can be like his little sumo revenge thing. Maybe other character returns to fight Keiha, but I think we're sticking on Keiha until he has his long faded battle against Sukune, which will probably end his arc. And then we could potentially see the whole Jack stuff, or maybe in between after Keiha maybe loses against Baki or Goki or something like that, then we can get the whole Jack gauntlet. And we better not forget about Pickle. We could have him returning at any minute. That's going to be a hype chapter if we do get that. There should be a new chapter next week, I believe. I don't think there's any mention of it being on break. It could be, I'm not 100% sure. Don't take my word for that. If you need chapter links, they're always posted in the Discord. The rules for the 2 recent chapters that haven't been translated yet. And of course, the English, when they come out, will be posted there. Let me know also some other Baki videos you want me to cover. My next How Strong is Baki video will most likely be on Retsu, but I'm not sure when I'm going to actually make that. It might be a while. A little bit burnt out on making those specific videos. So it will be coming out just a little bit longer than the regular. For a little bit now, I'll just be talking about chapter related stuff regarding Baki and some other random goofy videos if I want to make that. But of course, the ideas are much appreciated down below. This has been Mysterious Weeb in his mysterious outfit, as you see here. Shout out to the Mad Lads who support the channel via the Patreon, absolute legends. And of course, check out all the other stuff in the description if you're, a cool dude. But yep, that's it guys. Peace.